Let's take a look at the new template editor for desktop. You can create a template from scratch or upload an existing form to be converted. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to build our own, so select Create a new template. First, add a title. Click on Untitled Template and name your inspection. Now click here to add a description. All inspections begin with a title page. Click the drop-down arrow. This section is fully customizable. However, by default, there are 3 categories. We have fields for the date the audit was conducted, who it was prepared by, and the GPS location. If you have location services turned on, your device location will be found automatically. The default settings look good, so let's move on. Over here on the right, you can see how your inspection will look on a mobile device. Typically, you'll begin your inspection by adding a section by clicking here. Sections are used to break up the inspection into key areas. Click and drag the arrows on the left to move it up to the top. I'm going to click inside and call this Brand Standards. Over here in the preview window, you can see the section is represented by a blue bar. Let's type our first question here. To make your form smart and capture the essential data you need, there are a number of response types to choose from in the drop-down menu on the right. There are multiple choice responses, including Yes, No, NA, or Safe, At Risk, NA. Or you can choose to add a text answer, number, or photo in the Other Responses section, but by default the response is set to Yes, No, NA. I'm going to leave that as is. Choosing a Yes, No, NA response means the data collected can be used in the Analytics feature for premium subscribers. Analytics provides insightful dashboards and detailed reports on your business operations. We will explain this further in another tutorial. To add another question, click here or hit Enter. Type your question. In this question, I don't want to make the response a multiple selection, but I do want to make it mandatory. Let's add a few more questions to this section. But this time, instead of typing each question out individually, we're going to copy and paste them in bulk from another document. I will copy the entire list from this document. And when I paste it here, a new question field will be automatically created for each question. To delete a question, simply hover over it and click the bin icon on the right. To undo or redo, click here. And don't worry, all changes are automatically saved while you work. Let's add one last section to our template by clicking here and calling it Customer Satisfaction. Press Enter to add another question field. Copy and paste a few more questions. Now let's look at logic fields. Select the first question and click on the logic icon on the left. This adds the option to reveal a follow-up question depending on the answer to the original question. For example, if the answer to the question is yes, I want to reveal another question requesting more information. I will click on the default here, which is no, and change it to yes. Now I can add the follow-up question here. I'll also change the response to a text answer. Over here in the preview section, you can see that if yes is selected, the secondary question will appear. If no is selected, nothing will appear. Now we will add a failed response. Failed responses can be added to any multiple choice field, and the data collected will be available in the Premium account's Analytics feature. A failed response should be added to any question that could pose a high risk or is critical to your business, so you can identify habitual patterns in your data. Let's add a failed response to this question. Click the drop-down arrow and select the pen icon. By default, the no response is marked as failed. To add or change a failed response, click here or here. Or add a custom response here. Click on the circles to choose a custom color. Next, let's have a look at the scoring responses. This is a powerful tool that gives you insight into how your audits are performing over time. By default, a yes response has a score of 1. Our failed item no is a 0, and the NA response won't affect the score. To change the score of a response, click here. To turn off scoring altogether, click here. When you're ready, click Save and Apply. Finally, we'll add a signature field. Click inside the last box and press Enter. Type Sign here. Then click the drop-down arrow to change the response type to a signature. Check the box to make it mandatory. Once you are happy with your template, click Next to view a preview of your report. Here's where you can upload your logo so that each inspection report that you receive using this template will have this logo attached automatically. Then click Next to share it with your team and save and exit.